Right now, you're supposed to give your
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Now, please welcome a brass quintet from the President's own Marine Band.
Well, thank you very much. Good morning. Happy 4th of July. Happy 250 years. This is a really special day. So we are a brass quintet from the President's Own United States Marine Band. That first piece that we played was a march by Henry Fillmore called Americans We. He wrote this march in 1929, but I think there's some really nice messaging that Fillmore had with this march, and it comes in his dedication. His dedication said, "I dedicate this march to all of us," and I think that's a really nice sentiment for today. So the next piece that we're going to play is actually we're going to shift gears and we're going to enjoy the March King, John Philip Sousa. And yes, so John Philip Sousa was the director of the Marine Band from 1880 to 1892. And it was actually the year after he left the Marine Band is when he when he composed our next march. And he was inspired for the name of this march by his son marching in a parade in honor of the Liberty Bell. And the Liberty Bell has gone on to be one of Sousa's most famous marches, and we're looking forward to performing it for you right now. Thank you. So, Catherine Lee Bates wrote a poem called America that was published back on the 4th of July in 1895. And a few years prior to that, Samuel Augustus Ward wrote a tune in 1883. And it's interesting because it wasn't until 1910 until these two things, the poem and the music, ended up coming together to be known as America the Beautiful. And I think an interesting thing that's of note is that Ward actually didn't live long enough to experience those two entities coming together to turn into such a integral and important part of our musical history with America the Beautiful. But we're going to perform that now, and hope you enjoy this, I think, really interesting and fascinating combination of poetry and music contributing to our musical history. Well, thank you. So the director of the Marine Band has an interesting role where they are one of the musical advisors to the White House. And even back in John Philip Sousa's day, he was working on, for the Arthur administration, alternative options for Hail to the Chief. And that's where the tune for this next piece came from. And it actually ended up not working out that way, and Hail to the Chief is obviously still what's used primarily today. But being in the Marine Corps, we got our march. So we're going to perform the official march of the Marine Corps, John Philip Sousa's Semper Fidelis. Well, it has been a true pleasure having a chance to celebrate the 4th of July and our country's 250th anniversary with you this morning. We have one more piece that we'd like to play. It's God Bless America. And I would hope that you would be encouraged to sing along and join us. Happy 4th of July.
Please welcome the Acting Archivist of the United States, Edward C. Forst.
Thumbs up. That is some walk-on music, isn't it? That is spectacular. So excited. Good morning, everybody. You know, some might say there's no better place to be at the beginning of the 4th of July. I would say this is the best place to be at the beginning of the 4th of July. I want to express deep appreciation to our Space Guard Color Guard, Space Force Color Guard, to Master Sergeant Caleb Green, and obviously to the Marine Corps Band. They were just absolutely spectacular. So congrats to all of them. Thank you. You know, it's interesting. We had the Space Force here, and we had the U.S. Army, and they're the bookends in terms of when services came into duty for the United States. And again, at the archives, we are the bookends. We're the beginning from the Revolution all the way forward, and we want to celebrate that. And just as I look around the room, do we have any active duty military and veterans? Raise your hands. Thank you. You know, as I stand here, too, I am thrilled to see young people in the crowd. In fact, my kids are here as well. And you will come back every 4th, and you guys get prepared to lead us on our 300th anniversary when that time comes as well. You know, we're sitting here shoulder to shoulder, but we also stand on the shoulders of those who came before us. And it's really important to understand that and to appreciate that. You know, this is everyone's capital city. Many people don't live here, but you came, and you're committed, and you're celebrating, and we're doing that with you. And we're celebrating 250 years ago that the Second Continental Congress unanimously approved the text of the Declaration of Independence. And that's the start of our great nation. It changed the world forever. That document, by the way, is right upstairs in this building, and you should all go see it, pause, and reflect on the patriotism before us and what you bring to us as well. You know, these founders, they put their lives on the line by signing that declaration. One of the signers was a guy named Benjamin Rush, and he wrote a letter to John Adams, and in it he said, "We were called up one after another by the President of the Continental Congress to subscribe to what we at the time believed to be our death warrants." That's the risk everybody took by standing up and signing that declarations. They didn't know if they'd defeat the British. That army was the most powerful on earth. And these were our founders, farmers, merchants, tradesmen, who were extraordinary and believed we should all have the American dream. Now, a bit of trivia, you know, George Washington actually didn't sign the Declaration of Independence. He was a little bit busy. He was the commander-in-chief of our troops, and he was in New York City. But on the 9th of July, he gathered thousands of those troops, and he read the Declaration of Independence. They read it there, just as we're going to do today, as we've done for the last 50 years here at the Archives, and we're going to continue to do forever and forever. That's our enduring promise to you. I'm profoundly honored that President Trump asked me to serve in this acting capacity. And every single time I go into the rotunda, which you will do later today, and I see these founding documents, I pause. It is reverence in the room. And I hope you're struck the same way. Take your turn. Go up there. Get this close, literally, to the Declaration of Independence, to the Bill of Rights, to the Constitution. They're next to each other, and that's what you're able to do today. Get this close and personal to it and reflect. Embrace all of our shared honor to be here with passion and pride, what we've achieved and what we're going to achieve tomorrow. This is a magnificent nation. God bless America.
At the National Archives, this reading ceremony tradition is older than 50 years, whether it's inside or outside. And we are today, 250 years after its first reading, eager and proud to continue the tradition with a very distinguished group of people who know exactly what it meant to bring the Declaration of Independence to life. We have a tradition at the National Archives at our reading that there must be audience participation, just like there would have been in the colonial times. As our special guests read the grievances against King George, watch for our team holding signs and signaling, and we will express our displeasure with a hearty boo. So on the count of three, let us practice. What do we think about the King George's taxes? 1, 2, 3, boo. Then when we get to the Declaration to become free and independent states, we will show our approval by shouting, huzzah. So what do we think about becoming free and independent states? 1, 2, 3, huzzah. This is going to be fun. Our first three readers are General George Washington, Mr. John Hancock, and Mrs. Abigail Adams. To read the grievances against King George III, we have three leaders of the Second Continental Congress, Mr. Thomas Jefferson, Mr. John Adams, and Dr. Benjamin Franklin. Ladies and gentlemen, the Declaration of Independence.
In Congress, July 4, 1776, a declaration by the representatives of the United States of America in General Congress assembled. When, in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it.
Huzzah! Huzzah!
And to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to effect their safety and happiness.
Huzzah!
Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes. And accordingly, all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security.
Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world.
He has refused his assent to laws, the most wholesome and necessary for the public good.
He has forbidden his governors to pass laws of immediate and pressing importance unless suspended in their operation until his assent should be obtained. And when so suspended, he has utterly neglected to attend to them.
He has refused to pass other laws for the accommodation of large districts of people unless those people would relinquish the right of representation in the legislature, a right inestimable to them and formidable to tyrants only.
He has called together legislative bodies at places unusual, uncomfortable, and distant from the depository of their public records, for the sole purpose of fatiguing them into compliance with his measures.
He has dissolved representative houses repeatedly for opposing with manly firmness his invasions on the rights of the people.
He has refused for a long time after such dissolutions to cause others to be elected, whereby the legislative powers, incapable of annihilation, have returned to the people at large for their exercise, the state remaining in the meantime exposed to all dangers of invasion from without and convulsions within.
He has endeavored to prevent the population of these states, for that purpose obstructing the laws for naturalization of foreigners, refusing to pass others to encourage their migrations hither, and raising the conditions of new appropriations of land.
He has obstructed the administration of justice by refusing his assent to laws for establishing judiciary powers.
He has made judges dependent on his will alone for the tenure of their offices and the amount and payment of their salaries.
He has erected a multitude of new officers and sent hither swarms of officers to harass our people and eat out their substance.
He has kept armies in times of peace standing without the consent of our legislature.
He has affected to render the military independent of and superior to the civil power.
He has combined with others to subject us to a jurisdiction foreign to our Constitution and unacknowledged by our laws, giving his assent to their acts of pretended legislation, for quartering large bodies of armed troops among us, for protecting them by a mock trial from any punishment for any murders which they should commit on the inhabitants of these states, for cutting off our trade with all parts of the world, or imposing taxes on us without our consent, for depriving us in many cases of the benefits of trial by jury, for transporting us beyond seas to be tried for pretended offenses, for abolishing the free system of English laws in a neighboring province, establishing therein an arbitrary government, and enlarging its boundaries, so as to render it at once an example and fit instrument for introducing the same absolute rule into these colonies, for taking away our charters, abolishing our most valuable laws, and altering fundamentally
and waging war against us.
He has plundered our seas, ravaged our coast, burnt our towns, and destroyed the lives of our people.
Yes, sir!
He is at this time transporting large armies of foreign mercenaries to complete the works of death, desolation, and tyranny, already begun with circumstances of cruelty and perfidy scarcely paralleled in the most barbarous ages, and totally unworthy the head of a civilized nation.
He has constrained our fellow citizens, taken captive on the high seas, to bear arms against their country, to become the executioners of their friends and brethren, or to fall themselves by their hand.
He has excited domestic insurrections amongst us and has endeavored to bring on the inhabitants of our frontiers, the merciless Indian savages, whose known rule of warfare is an undistinguished destruction of all ages, sexes, and conditions.
In every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for redress in the most humble terms. Our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury. A prince whose character is thus marked by every act which may define a tyrant is unfit to be the ruler of a free people.
You got that right.
Nor have we been wanting in our attention to our British brethren. We have warned them from time to time of attempts by their legislature to extend an unwarrantable jurisdiction over us. We have reminded them of the circumstances of our emigration and settlement here. We have appealed to their native justice and magnanimity, and we have conjured them by the ties of our common kindred to disavow these usurpations which would inevitably interrupt our connections and correspondence. They, too, have been deaf to the voice of justice and consanguinity. We must, therefore, acquiesce in the necessity which denounces our separation and hold them, as we hold the rest of the world and mankind, enemies in war, in peace, friends.
Huzzah! We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, in General Congress assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do, in the name and by authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be, free and independent states. And that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown. And that all political connections between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved. And that as free and independent states, they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and to do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do.
And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes,
and our sacred honor.
Thank you. And Mr. Fortin, thank you for leading us to read the names of the 56 signers of the Declaration. We're proud to have Private Edward Ned Hector of the 3rd Pennsylvania Artillery Company, a free black colonial soldier, patriot, and hero. Private Hector, as he calls out your state, feel free to huzzah to show your support.
My people, I put down my weapon in times of peace. But I will pick it up on behalf of the people. This document that we have just heard, you heard it described as a death warrant. Indeed it is. Which one of you would sign such a document? Would you, sir? Would you, madam? Would you sign your own death warrant? These are the people that were willing to sign this document. These are the people that was willing to give all they had so that a new nation might have birth. Huzzah! Let us read the names of the signers. First of all, the President of the Continental Congress, the Honorable John Hancock. Huzzah! Georgia, Button Gwinnett, Lyman Hall, and George Walton. Huzzah! North Carolina.
Sir. All right.
William Hoop, Joseph Hughes, and John Penn.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! South Carolina. Indeed.
All right.
Edward Rutledge, Thomas Hayward Jr., Thomas Lynch Jr., and Arthur Middleton.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! Maryland.
All right, all right.
Samuel Chase, William Baker, Thomas Stone, and Charles Carrollton of Carrollton.
Huzzah! Huzzah!
Let's make this good, right?
Huzzah!
Huzzah! Virginia! George West, Richard Henry Lee, Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Harrison, Thomas Nelson Jr., Francis Lightfoot Lee, and Charles Braxton. Huzzah! Pennsylvania! Yes.
All right, Pennsylvania.
Robert Morris, Benjamin Rush, Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah.
John Morton, George Clymer, James Smith, George Taylor, James Wilson, and George Ross. Huzzah! Delaware!
Delaware, where you at? Huzzah! We got
Okay,
huzzah
good.
right there.
Caesar Rodney, George Reed, and Thomas McKean. Huzzah! New York, William Floyd, Philip Livingston, Francis Lewis, and Lewis Morris.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! New Jersey,
Huzzah! Come on, Jersey, where you at?
Richard Stockton, John Witherspoon, Francis Hopkinson, John Hart, and Abraham Clark.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! New Hampshire,
New Hampshire.
where are you, New Hampshire?
There she is, way up in the back. Huzzah! Huzzah, man.
Matthew Thornton, Josiah Bartlett, and William Whipple.
Huzzah!
Rhode Island.
There we go.
There we go. There we go. Stephen Hopkins and William Ellery. Huzzah! Connecticut. My friend.
Try that again.
Roger
sir.
Sherman, Samuel Huntington, William Williams, and Oliver Wolcott. Huzzah! And all of this is attested to by the Secretary, Charles Thompson. Huzzah! And to this, we, the people, we all say,
Yes, sir.
Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Again! Huzzah! Once again! Huzzah! Yes!
Huzzah! Love you guys. See y'all next year. All right.
Oh, sir, I have stood there too many cannons. Did I forget Massachusetts? How could I forget Massachusetts? My friends, let me tell you the people from Massachusetts. Guess who we have there? Samuel Adams! John Adams! Robert Treat Payne! Albert Gary. You know what this proves? The people will not forget their own. Thank you for reminding me.
Okay, we are not the nation of booze anymore. We're the nation of huzzah. Let's go. Thank you to that group. I have to say, you can read the Declaration of Independence or you can listen this way. Which is better? But you got to go upstairs. Go upstairs and get this close to it, okay? It will mean even more now that we're all here together. I want to shout out a thank you here to the National Archives staff. You know, it is... all you guys. It is, I look at Trevor up there. It is hard to make it look this easy, but this is incredible. This is your archives. Enjoy it till 10 p.m. We're going to conclude the program by bringing back Master Sergeant Caleb Green for America the Beautiful, and then get yourselves upstairs and enjoy the rest of the 4th of July. Thank you all very much.
Happy birthday, America.
Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties, above the fruited plain. America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea, from sea to shining sea.
God bless you. Happy birthday.
Happy 250th birthday, America. Yuba-Sutter.LIVE is bringing you our local Independence Day weekend activities. Maybe you're camping and you missed it all? Sunday, July 5th, it's Replay Day. At 7 o'clock, the Kids Parade and Patriotic Music Concert replay. At 8 p.m., the Independence Day Fireworks replay. And we cap things off with the 8:30 p.m. Independence Day Drone Show replay. Yuba-Sutter.LIVE is bringing you Yuba-Sutter's Independence Weekend activities. Public service of your local See It Now channel, Yuba-Sutter.LIVE.
Tuesday on Government Watch, you can support or sponsor. Help keep the community aware with Yuba-Sutter.LIVE.